All right. Okay. So, good evening, traders. Um. All right. Sorry. So, good evening, traders. Please, if you can hear me, please let me know. And if my screen is visible enough, please let me also know in the comment section so we can start very fast as possible. All right. So, if my all right. Okay. So I believe everything is okay. Um. Okay. So actually been a long while here. Not mistaken, we've actually what missed like 4 weeks. Last week we are here finally. I'm happy we are here finally, and have to keep running. All right. Sorry about that. Please, let's check this again before I continue. Please, if if you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section. And if my screen is up, please let me know in the comment section. Please, let's check this once again, please. If my screen is up and if you can hear me, please let me know in the comment section before I proceed. Let me know in the comment section. All right. Okay. So, good evening, everyone, once again. Good evening, everyone, and I hope you're all doing great. I hope we all had a wonderful day, and here we are to actually take today's class. All right. So, today we'll be looking at liquidity sweep and reversal. Liquidity sweep and reversal. Liquidity sweep and reversal. And for those that have actually been practicing, for those that have actually been marking their zones, for those that have actually been putting in their best in marking that chart, trying to practice something on their chart, they will know that what you've come across liquidity sweep. Now, what do you mean by liquidity sweep? Okay. All right. So, as I was explaining, or I had that little break. Okay. So, as I was explaining, I said for those that have actually been practicing, they can actually what relate with what I'm about to explain now. Where what you get to mark a zone. Let me get to take this off and get to draw something new or something. So we'll get to draw something like this. Let me get to put this properly. Okay, so we have this part. We have this part. We have this part. So this is it. And you have your inducement created at this level, and price comes back into this, mitigate this other block, and you see a reaction to the upside. Now, price gives you another what level to actually what take a trade from, and you're actually expecting to take this from this level here, from this other level. This is where you're actually expecting to take a trade from. But what will you notice? You notice something like price sweeping this low, price sweeping this low forward. Price will come back to then give you a confirmation this way before what coming back again before continuing to the upside. So this low or a high that was taken out, if it's to the opposite side, then the high. But if it's this down one here, what you have here is what market sweep of liquidity. I don't know if it actually makes a sense. Now, you see the previous low was actually taken out, and you seeing this previous low taken out, a lot of persons will be trying to capitalize on looking out for what possible sell continuation. But when you have this market sweep of liquidity, you will see what a new zone given to you. Market comes back to give you maybe a confirmation entry at this point, and all you have to do is what get to join this level and continue to the upside. I don't know if maybe you are actually what getting what I just explained. Let me know in the comment section if you actually what understand what I just explained now concerning what liquidity sweep? Let me know in the comment section. And if I should explain again, or if it's gotten, then I will proceed with going into a real life chat example. So I'll be waiting. Did you understand? It seems we don't understand what I just explained. Do we understand? Should I go on? Do you understand? Okay. Okay. I think a lot of persons are kind of like a little bit confused or something. Now, when you are talking about understood, no, sir, come again, please come again. Okay. Now, this is what this is what we have. Let me get to take this drawing again. Now, you have this, and you have this here. You were expecting. Let's get to put this box here. So you were expecting this level for price to hold this particular level. You have this inducement sitting here at this level. Have this inducement sitting at this level here. Now, this is what you want to see. You want to see this price drop into this point forward, continuing to the upside. That's what you're expecting, and that's what's supposed to happen. But a lot of times, we see something else. See something else, and this is what you will see. You see price come this way, and the price will now come to take out this low. You see the candle weaken below this point, then gives you what? Maybe a push to the upside, or when the price comes here, you will see something like confirmation, something like this to this level. Price comes back, gives you this confirmation here, then returns back before what? This one, this particular one here is when you have a lower time confirmation, a lower time frame like confirmation. This is what you will have, but sometimes you might not see this confirmation. The price will just sweep below this low, then what? Aggressive push to the upside. So you just have to be ready for whichever one comes. Now we are going to actually look at possible ways to actually what? Trade this perfectly without being stopped out. So first, if we are to go with this particular aggressive mode, we'll be looking at how to position our stop losses so we can actually what accommodate sweep, or we can decide to go in with this particular one, which is this pattern, using entry confirmation. Now, for sweep, sweep happens with candle wick, and it can also be what candle body. We have sweep with wick, where you just see the candle wicking below or above the zone, or you can also have candle body close. It's possible. But the most important thing we are trying to relate here is what market taking what taking out previous liquidity at what old highs or old lows. That's basically what will be happening in this particular scenario. Price taking out what this liquidity at this low or liquidity at the top before what reversing. And that's why the topic is what liquidity sweep and what reversal. I believe it's copied now. Now let's get to look at a live chart so that we can actually what get to understand that. Let's see if we can have something here. So for this, I want to see if I have any sweep at this level. None at this one. All right. I think on this chart I can see something here, but let me see if I can have something on 15 minutes. Okay, so here we are on this particular pair AUD CHF, and this is the 2 hours time frame. We'll try to scale down to 15 minutes time frame to actually what get to see what we've just discussed. So now looking at this particular pair, what can we notice? See, price was moving to the upside from this point. Price was moving to the upside at this level here. You have this price move again at this level to the upside, and this was the low here. Look at this low at this point. This wasn't our other block. This wasn't the other block we were trying to take trade from, because if we are to go with our other block confirmations, or what our other blocks need to have for us to actually what take a valid other block, this wasn't our other block. But you can see that what this was where we had what the last push, where you have this external high or external low, sorry, of this entire trend. This is this external low, and this is the external high. So now at this point, this was where we had this change of character. This was where we had this change of character here at this level. Yeah. And having this change of character, this was supposed to tell you that what market is in what a bearish trend. Because if we are to put this properly, see that at this level there was what is closed with a candle body. It's closed with a candle body at this point. There was a candle body below the line before we then have what this candle wick. I don't know if you are getting. So now, after having this, the next scenario a person should be looking at for is what you want to look at for the last supply that caused this to that caused this move to the downside. Now we'll go into this chart to actually what see what we'll have done differently. So okay, now looking at this chart here, If you get to look at this chart, this market peaked below this point, like dropped below this low, and after dropping below this low, the market pulled back up. When the market pulled back up, where is the new high and the new low? This is the new what? This is the new high. Market left off with this high at this point. Market left off with this high at this point, and you can see what we had what a second sweep at this level. Again, after market gave us this sweep, this one here, after market gave us this sweep to the downside, we notice what expansion to the upside. Now, price expanded to the upside, giving us what this level as what a change of character. A change of character here. So at this level here, we had this change of character. And what did you see? Price gave us what? Another block. Look at it here. We have this level that was given to us. Level was given to us. There was a what? Push to the upside. We had this fair value gap. And this market coming back down. This was what? Engineered liquidity for us to validate this zone for us. What did you see? Price tapped into this other block. Price tapped into this other block, and what can you see? You notice there was an expansion to the upside. Now, this expansion to the upside, if you were trying to, if you didn't actually what take note of the entire movement within this zone, you would have actually what be looking out for what sell without actually what understanding what just occurred here. Look at we have what have a change of character, which was what a valid change of character, no doubt. What was the next thing we're supposed to look out for? We're supposed to look out for sell continuation. But if you actually want understand liquidity concept, a lot of times you will see market in a very different perspective. You will see market in a very different perspective. Now, what was the first thing I can actually identify on this chart? Now, I had a supply here. I had this supply at this level here. And having this supply at this level, what can we see too? Now, we can see that what we have this relative equal what equal height, which tells you that what we have liquidity. We have liquidity resting at this level. And for the fact you have this liquidity resting at this level, definitely once we get this change of character, we should be looking out for what possible reasons to buy. Because this market has already proven to us that what look at this one. When we had this drop below this level, market came back up, giving us what a sweep. This one was with a candle wick. This was with a what a candle wick at this level, and price shifted again to the upside, giving us what a confirmation, a change of character to tell us what we should look for possible buys. But if you don't actually what look for little details on your chart, you won't get to actually what understand what just happened here. You'll still be looking at okay, the market is bearish, you want to look for sell. You will still see some persons actually was having all of these relative equal highs, having this high at this point. Look at this, having this high here at this level here, and they still want to look out for sell. What are you selling? What are you selling? You're already having what? How many tops here or equal highs at this point? What are you still looking for sell? That's liquidity already engineered above. So whatever you are doing, you should look for what buy so that what you get to clear this liquidity to the upside. I don't know if this example actually what interpreted what I just explained about liquidity sweep before I get to move on to the next example on a different pair. Let me know in the comments if you are following, and if there is something you are not following, let me also know in the comment section. before we take another example, look at least there are about 3 to 4 examples so that everyone has to actually what grab and understand this particular concept because it's very, very important. Very, very important. So let me know in the comments if this actually what made sense to you or there's something you are confused about. Should I ride on? Should I ride on? Okay, all right. I'm saying we understand, we understand. All right, so I have to look for another example, something we can use on a smaller time frame. All right, sir, please, that liquidity you marked, can you please rephrase from there? Marked. Oh, all right, so the liquidity I marked, this is the liquidity I marked, this one at the top here. So I was trying to explain, I said, now let's get to look at the trend of this market. I'm going to actually what? Okay, now let's get to look at this. This market was in a bullish market or in a bullish trend. That means we are expecting more buy side to the upside. And since you're expecting more buy side to the upside, we also have a valid overall change of character. We want to see price break below this level. First, that's what we want to see because if you see overall, this market gave us what a break of structure to the upside, taking out this external high, giving us what a new high at this point. So now we now have this new high at this point, but coming down, coming down, we have what had a change of character at this point. Having this change of character at this point, what we're expecting, we're expecting to look at for possible sales from this supply zone. And that's why if you've actually been following up with the classes properly, you get to actually what understand why I don't mark or trade from all supplies or all other block. And I gave all of my reasons why. Because when you just come and you see a supply, all I do is just to cross my finger and just watch and wait for market reaction before I take my next action. You won't see me coming to trade from this type of supply. I won't. So now this price actually what took out this level, and after price have taken out this level, I want to actually see price take out this high, this level too. But I'll be expecting price to take out. I want to actually see price take out this. I want to see price take out this level here. This I will be expecting to be my valid change of character. So I want to actually see this price push above this, then I will look for confirmation entry, then continue with the trend. But in this particular case, the price was swept this low, came back up, gave us what this high. The price came back, swept this low again for the second time. So having this other liquidity sweep at this level, price pulled back, giving us what a change of character. Once you have this change of character, this now gives you an idea that what the market is pushing to the upside. Now, why will I be looking for buys? Because I won't just look for buys because of this confirmation I have here. I'll be looking for buys along with what other criteria. Do I have liquidity in that direction? Do I have liquidity in that direction? Now, what do I mean by having liquidity in that direction? Is there a reason for this price to pull back up? First, was this a valid supply? For me, no. This wasn't a valid supply. And if I'm to look for a valid supply, this point here is my valid supply. This is what liquidity point, this level here. This is what my liquidity that I have. So what I want to see is having this change of character at this level. I want to see price return back to this other block or this demand level here. Price should be able to continue till this supply. So basically, what we use liquidity sweep to do is what we basically wait to actually what use liquidity sweep to actually what let price take out the liquidity at that point or below or at a high. Price should be able to clear the liquidity at that point first, and once price take out that liquidity, then we'll look for what valid change of character. Having this valid change of character here, you then go ahead to actually what trade in the direction of the liquidity. Now we have this liquidity. So what we want to target is if you have to take a buy from here, we should be able to at least take out this high at this level. This is what I want to see. We want to be able to take out this liquidity at this point, then continue all the way to this level before this supply. Because if we are to look at the overall trend of this market, following the fact that we had this change of character here, this is what we want to see. We want to see this price come back to this supply here. This is what we want to see. We want to see price come back to a supply level at the top here. So if we had to put this to the right hand side, this is what you want to see. But first, how will you know that this price is going to continue all the way to this point? Simple concept. What happened here? Liquidity sweep. So understanding this liquidity sweep and also understanding the concept of liquidity is what will actually what help you to know that this point is a valid point. So basically what we want to actually what understand tonight is when we have this type of low or have a high, we want to see what market sweeping that low or that high. Then we'll come back to what look for the nearest other block for us to take a continuation trade. And that's how we say what liquidity sweep and reversal. Because what this point will actually what take out this previous low. Because when we actually were talking about liquidity, we said liquidity rests at what candle highs and candle lows. That was like one form of liquidity we discussed in liquidity. And that's why I said whatever you learn daily, don't forget because we will need it in the next topic. We will need it in the next topic. So for this particular one, that is what we actually mean by liquidity sweep. I will go to the next example and we will get to actually what understand the concept better. Then when you're done with tonight, you go back to also what practice by yourself. Now, this particular confirmation was gotten on 2 hours. There are cases where you have to get the confirmation on 15 minutes. You need to have the confirmation on 15 minutes. Now, I think during the live section today, we pointed out something on Bitcoin, and I think I would love to actually what use that particular example as the second example, and we'll get to that for other examples. Now, in liquidity sweep, I want to state something clear. I want to state something. Now, if you look at this, or let me get to draw something. I think we don't have any example. Okay, so this is what I want us to look at because we will see this in some cases. See this in some cases. Look at this level here. See we have this break of structure. And after having this breakout structure here, see we have this high. So having this high, see at this point here we had this sweep. And this sweep you are having at this point here is with candle wick. Is with a candle wick. And look at the low here. So within the internal range, we had what? A change of character at this level here. Had this change of character. And external low also have what? A valid what? Change of character at this point. Where is the new high? This is our new high at this level here. This is the new high. And following this change of character you have, where is your other block? This is your other block. This is your other block. This is our last sell candle. Sorry, last buy candle. Alright. But this pricing gets to this one. This pricing gets to this one. But this particular other block was the other block, or this particular candle is the candle that actually was swept liquidity above this high. So having a candle that actually sweeps liquidity actually what increases your profitability rate when marking your other blocks. So let's get to check out what I say we have on BTC so that you get to actually what maybe I think that will actually make you understand deeper into this liquidity sweep concept better. So let's get to check BTC. Okay, so here on BTC, this is what we have. Look at this. Look at this supply. So looking at this supply, what do we notice? What can you see? You see, there is a candle wick above this level. And having this candle wick above this level, sincerely speaking, if we were to like actually what take this particular trade, a lot of times we'll have actually what had a stop loss. We'll have likely what had a stop loss. So now let's get to do something now. Let's get to, I assume we are working with this as a supply. Let's get to look at this example here. So having that as our supply, let's put our sell position. So let's assume this was our sell position here, please. So if you were kind of like working with a tight stop loss, something like this, you can see that this candle will have actually what wicked us out. This candle will have actually what wicked us out because the candle closed or had a candle wick above the previous high. I don't know if you're actually following. This actually wicked above this previous high, meaning what? There was liquidity grabbed above this point. Market grab liquidity above this high, above this supply. So what was the person would have actually done in this particular scenario? When you see market actually what taking out liquidity above a point, then you see reversal to the downside. The best thing to actually do when you see this type of scenario is this is on 2 hours. can decide to step down to maybe the 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Let's get to see if we'll have a confirmation of the 30 minutes. Okay, so this is what we have. Let me delete this out. So this is where we had this sweep. This is where we had this sweep. And having this sweep here, where is a change of character? That's the next thing you want to look at for. This was where you had the last break of structure, the upside. Pull this to have your change of character at this level here. Having a change of character at this level, we have this as our inducement, and we have this as our other block. We have this as our other block, and you can see we have this as our break of structure at this level. Now, following the price action that happened at this point, after having this sweep, market gave us what? A confirmation that price is willing to sell. Price is willing to reverse. And that's basically what liquidity sweep does. Liquidity sweep is a reversal pattern. Liquidity sweep is actually a reversal pattern that you need to inculcate into your trading. You need to understand what the price is telling you at that particular level. And if you're not able to actually read all of these price actions, then you have a whole lot of mess up in your trading. So we had this change of character followed by what? A break of structure at this level here. Having this break of structure. What did you see? Price return back to this zone and price continue to the downside. Now, a lot of times, this price can still give you this confirmation and still push to the upside. No doubt. But a lot of times, like let me just say 80% of the times when you have market sweep, it's usually a reversal. That's what comes next. Price will reverse to the upside. Price will definitely get to reverse because the main aim of a sweep in the market is just to take out maybe uh, early sellers or early buyers. Market gets to take out all of their stop losses. That is what I defined as uh, liquidity, where we talked about what liquidity is money. If you can remember vividly, we said liquidity is what money in the market. In simple term, liquidity is money. Now, for people taking these early sales, people taking sales on this particular, people that are actually taking sell at this particular supply, price will have taken all of their stop losses out. Doesn't mean they were in the analysis wasn't right or something. But what the market makers just decided to at least pull them out before continue in their own desired direction. So that's basically what happened here. Market took out all of the liquidity above this point before continue to the downside. If you've actually been joining the live stream on Monday, you will see I actually explained this level as well, an inducement level, a liquidity level on the 4 hours, I'll be on the 2 hours. That was talking about what I want to see market actually take out this level. So a lot of times you need to actually be ahead of the market. You need to actually think very smart. You have to be very, very logical in your in your thinking. So that's another example. This is second example here on BTC to actually utilize or actually trade liquidity sweep properly. Also actually trade liquidity sweep properly. Now let's get to look at something. Let's get to look at something. Another way you get to actually most times uh, how you get to actually what experience this liquidity sweep is when you have this type of price action and see price accumulating this way. The next thing we see is price will drop below this low. Price will take out all of this liquidity sweep, all of this liquidity, and then you have what a sweep. Then price comes back to give you maybe a confirmation, giving you this change of character. Then price drops to this level or continue in its direction. So if you are someone that actually love trading ranging market, you're using the concept of supply and demand. This is what you will notice. Always see this sweep. Always check where you have accumulation in the market. You always notice that sweep. Let's see if we can actually what get where we have any accumulation, and let's get to actually see if there was a sweep forward, market reversed. Okay, so now let's look at this particular price action. Look at this particular price action. Change something here. Look at this level here. What did you see? Price took out this low forward, continue to the upside. Let's get to look at something. A lot of times when you have accumulation, like a lot of accumulation, you always notice it. For price to continue in its desired direction, price needs to take out the liquidity below or at the extreme high or at the high of any level for you to have this continuation to the upside or this reversal to the upside. Because what moves the market is what liquidity, and the market will not move if the market has not actually what grab liquidity. Is that liquidity that the market has grabbed that has what will enable the market to move? Because now, if we want to actually what continue selling, this price will have come back here, then continue to the downside. But now the market has taken out the liquidity resting below this level. Then what? See what? The runoff. When you have when you have a break, when you have a break like this, look at this one. This week here, this is candle what? This is liquidity sweep. But if it closes the body like this is what we call what? Runoff of what? Liquidity. No longer sweep. This one is what? A runoff because the market continue to the upside. But when you have something like this, a little break below, the market continues in the opposite direction again, then that is sweep. So you need to actually understand the difference, not seeing market push breaking like this and you call it sweep. No, that's not sweep. This is what runoff of old highs or old lows. Market continue in the same direction even after breaking. Now let's get to check out something on maybe a different pair. I don't know. Let's just get to check. Have anything? Have find something bad? Start. Oh, still trying to I get one of the sweep and possible confirmation and reversal. upside or to downside. Okay, I'm seeing one here, seeing one at this level here. All right, so we have one at this level, and you can see all of this liquidity that was in here. See all of this liquidity that was sitting here. Price actually what ran into them, took out the liquidity, swept below this low. After sweeping below this low, you see what immediate retracement to the upside. So now let's go into the 15 minutes to actually see if this price actually what even gave something like a confirmation. Let's see if this price actually what gave a confirmation. And one thing I actually be expecting from this particular zone is this is a valid order block. Now, why is it a valid order block? It's a valid order block because this order block actually was swept liquidity below this level. So this is a valid order block, and you can see having all of the confluences we want to see in place. So let's get to go down to 1 hour or down to the 15 minutes to see if there was a confirmation. There was a confirmation on 1 hour. On 1 hour, we have this change of character, and this other block is still hasn't been filled. This still hasn't been filled on 1 hour, meaning we are expecting this entire price to dump to this level, dump to this level. So let's go to the 15 minutes to actually see if there was opportunity for us to actually take a buy order along with that market after the sweep happened. All right, so here we are on 15 minutes. We're on 15 minutes, and this is what the other block will have looked like on 15 minutes. So from the 15 minutes level, price hasn't still filled this particular zone. Price hasn't still filled it because if you look at this point, this is where we had a change of character on 15 minutes. We had a change of character here at this level. And having this change of character at this level here, we have loved price to actually come back because after price swept liquidity at this point here, we have loved this price to come back to this zone forward, continue to the upside. But in this particular scenario, we can see that the price didn't actually return back to that zone. So that's when I think I from the diagram I drew at first, I said something about the market just coming to sweep without giving you opportunity for you to join the trend. It's possible, like it's 100% possible, very very possible. So if maybe you were waiting for sweep and market actually gives you that sweep without coming back, you don't need to panic or feel bad or feel anyway. You don't need to because it's normal. It's very very possible for market to sweep without giving you opportunity to join the trend and the price will just move. I think I was actually explaining something today on good. I was talking about what I'm expecting what a sweep. Let me get okay, let's get to check. All right. So this was this was good. Maybe those that joined the live stream in the morning, if maybe you want to actually understand the full idea behind this chat you're seeing, you can decide to take your time, go through the live section that was recorded in the morning for our Monday market analysis, where we get to look at the chart and make our weekly directional bias. So I have this level, and I was like, I want to actually see price sweep liquidity. You can see my drawing. Price will be able to sweep liquidity above here and come back down and give me a confirmation for me to look for a sell. That's what I was looking at for. Or the price should drop with this red line to this other block, then continue to the upside. Now, why was I expecting, or why am I expecting a sweep? If you are to look at the valid supply, this is the valid supply. I think the example we did on AUD CHF, I think this looks very similar. This looks very similar to that high that was actually what taking at. We'll go back to that chart and actually get to look at, but this is what I want to see. I'm already seeing one, two, three, all of these highs in place. Definitely, this should call for price to actually what sweep this high. I might be wrong. It might not actually play out, but this is what I've come to actually understand from my past years or from my years of experience actually what trading the financial markets. This thing is common. Price coming to actually what sweep liquidity points before reversing. So if you're on this call, you can still do well to actually what monitor this growth chart and whatever plays out. You can take a screenshot of this one and whatever gets to play out, you can still come to my DM and remind me. And maybe in any class we have, the class we have by Wednesday or Friday, we can at least make reference back to this and get to see what plays out. Because that's one thing. Make your projections or have your buyers, what you're expecting, and if the market plays out good, you get to see okay, why did it play out? And if it doesn't play out, you still look at it, why did it fail? That's the only way. A lot of persons have been reaching out to me. When are we going to create account? When are we going to fund? When are we going to do all of those things? Take your time, chill. You don't need to rush. Have your chat work being. Take your time and get to actually what understand what you want to do first before what you think of rushing to fund. Just take your time. So I think with this good example or with these good buyers I've just given to us as the last example, uh, this is where I will end it on liquidity sweep and reversal. So what I actually want us to do now is what if you have question in the comment section, if you have question, drop it in the comment section. If you have anything you feel you didn't get to actually what understand properly, let me know in the comment section. And while we are doing that, if you've not given a thumbs up to this live section, please do it to like the live section. So let's get to entertain questions in the comments and get to address all questions. Okay, I believe no question. Is that what we're saying? No question. That means we all grab the concept, and if I should give assignment, definitely we are all going to do perfectly well. Perfectly well. That what we're saying. That what we're saying. That we understand everything that was taught tonight. Yes. 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 The course with the body. Yes. Now, on let me say something like this. Okay, so this is good, and you might likely see. Let me see. I got. Okay, so now look at that. That they are all candle. Get to This one I'm seeing here is, let me get to see if the body is still candle weak. But you can have like one candle close to the downside, then the market will reverse. So it can actually come with a body close. It's not necessarily be necessarily doesn't need to be a candle wick. Now you know what you see varies across time frames. Now if you look at this one here on this 1 hour, we are seeing candle wick. If you put this chart on 15 minutes, this candle wick will be showing as a candle body to be a body close. So the time frame you are looking at is what will actually what tell you what you will see. What you see on the 1 hour isn't what you will see on the 15 minutes. If you put this candle on 5 minutes, to be a candle body, to be a candle body. But the main aim of the explanation or the main aim of this particular class or topic is knowing where not knowing zones not to consider as a valid order block or valid supply or valid demand. Let me just put it that way. So, just like what I explained when I was like, if you want to mark the supply, this is your supply. This is your supply here, right? This is your supply. But what happened? What am I expecting? I want to see market sweep the supply out. That's what I want to see. Now, I think I was studying this afternoon and I noticed something. There was a trade we actually used for one of our examples during one of the classes. That was AUD. I think that was like even a live section. All right. Okay. So if Clinton is on this call, I think we was there for that particular live stream. Okay, so this is it. Look at this. So what do you notice? What do you notice? What do you notice on this? See, if you've actually been listening and following the way I mark my chart, you will have less problem. So now look at this tree. Uh, I don't know anybody that is on this call that I can actually well remember the live stream we had, was it like 2 weeks back, when I was this analysis you're seeing on this chart was something I marked last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I can't remember vividly. This was what I marked. And when I marked this particular this thing, I said it. I said something. I was like, this zone might likely be swept out. Why did I say so? Look at this. Supply was valid. Inducement was there. Everything was valid. Look at this. We're expecting this price to what? Also tap into this demand zone. Valid. We had the push to this supply. Look at this. We have one, two, three, and this other high. And immediately I saw all of this, I stated it that what if you are taking this particular sell, if you are taking this particular sell, your stop loss should be above this what? Stop loss should be above this. Because this is a mistake a lot of traders they actually what get to make. You can't come to take a trade from this type of supply that have liquidity above it and you're putting your stop loss here. No, it won't work. You can't come to do something like this. Why are you being stingy with that stop loss? You want to make money, but you don't want to donate money to the market. Now, you will not come to put something like this. It can't work. Or you're putting your stop loss somewhere here. Then you want to target, as we were expecting, to target down. It won't work. It won't. You have to at least position your stop loss above the liquidity highs. Don't worry. By Wednesday, we'll get to actually what understand how to. Wednesday, no. By Friday, we should actually understand how to actually place our stop loss the right places and how to avoid what stop loss hunt from market makers. So now look at this is the right way to do this. Your stop loss above the high. And look at when market ran into this point. What did you notice? Price didn't get to the stop loss and price reversed down. But if you look at the zone was actually was swept out. This zone was actually was swept out. See, the zone was actually was swept out. And I think I can remember the particular comment Clinton made on that live section when it was like, boss, uh, this market is actually going to take out this zone. And I was like, yeah. So if you've actually been paying attention very well, you get to actually understand a lot of secrets. See, trading is not hard. If you should ask me, it's only hard when you don't understand what you're doing at first. And trading is very, very boring when you get to understand it. So this is it. And if you've actually let's see if we're able to get after having this sweep, let's see if maybe if we've gone down to the 15 minutes, if we'll have had something to actually work with. Let me get to see. Let's see if sorry. Let's see if waiting for 15 minutes will have actually gotten something from the market. Because that's one thing I've seen. When you actually want to work with smaller time frame, you have to think of when you want to actually trace sweep, you have to go down to smaller time frame. So here we have this valid breaker structure at this level here. And what can you say at this point? Have this here. So that's a valid change of character. We are trying to actually see how to actually use smaller time frame in actually making this whole liquidity sweep pattern very easy or easier for us. So now look at you have this level here, you have this level here, this is the inducement, and you have this zone at the top, and price came into it. Only from this point to this low, already at least 1:3. Then imagine trying to target this entire price, trying to target this entire move to the downside. Look at this. Imagine trying to target this entire move just like what we were expecting to the downside. Look at how will you know this if you don't understand sweep? How will you know this if you don't understand your chart? It's not by rushing to fund. All right, so let's get to look at another question. David, no, sorry, Divine said, I understand it perfectly, sir. I just need to practice more. Yeah, you definitely need to practice. Prince said, not necessarily weak. I understood the lesson for now, sir. Okay, it can occur with a body and also with a week too. Yeah, definitely can occur with a body and also with a week. But the only unique thing about when it occurs with a week is it shows rejection. Shows rejection. So if you have a week shows rejection. It means price is not willing to continue to the downside. Let me see something like this one. If you have this week, tells that what price is not willing to continue to the downside. Now look at another week here, and price will now reverse. Now, when do you have this week? Market has to maybe dip into a liquidity point or actually what grab liquidity from a particular or a certain level. Then price will continue in its desired direction. So that's basically what happens when you have liquidity sweep. That's basically what happens when you have liquidity sweep. So I believe we all understood this lesson, and I will advise us all to actually what practice, practice, because the truth is actually covered a whole lot, and just have like barely like 2 to 3 classes to actually end this class. And Not left for you to actually justify yourself if within these few weeks of these classes, if you were able to actually what get value or not, be able to actually what get value or not. So we have class Wednesday, we have another by Friday, and likely Friday on might be the last class we'll be having. And after then, I can see okay, for those that have been serious, they are certified to actually what hit that chart and come up with something great. Come up with something great. And for those that are not able to, videos are still there on the channel for you to go over and still get yourself better. Still get yourself better. If at the end of the day, feel like you're not still satisfied and you want a one-on-one class, boys also in your course, boys in your course. So we'll end it here tonight. This is where we'll wrap it up and see you again Wednesday and also see you by Friday. Take care of yourself till we meet again by Wednesday. So do well to practice this particular concept or do well to practice this particular topic and do well to send in your chat work and whatever issue you have because of studying this sweep. My DM is always open. Where to hit me up and I will get to actually what attend to you. For those that always text, they know that what attend to you. They have issues. So good night everyone. Take care of yourself.